every college basketball player who has ever laced up his shoes, and every coach who has stepped on the floor has dreamed of going to the Final Four. This is the year it all came true for the University of Arizona. These are the memories of the 1987-88 Wildcats. The first public suggestion that the 1987-88 Arizona Wildcats could be a great team actually came back in December of 1986. The Wildcats were in Washington, D.C. to face the tough Georgetown Hoyas. Although the Georgetown muscle was too much for the Cats that day, CBS's Billy Packer served notice that Arizona would be one of the top teams in the nation the following season.
You figure Kerr coming back next year, only one senior on the team, they will be without question a top 10 team next year and a real threat, in my mind, for national crown type status.
Packer's nearly clairvoyant prediction didn't seem to affect the national pollsters as they announced their preseason picks for the 87-88 season. All the ingredients were there for a storybook season. Sean Elliott was a bona fide All-American candidate. Ed Anthony Cook and Arizona had one of the best pair of forwards in the country. The immensely talented Tom Tolbert would flourish under the tutelage of master coach Lute Olson, and the steady and dependable Craig McMillan would help anchor the backcourt. But above all, Steve Kerr would return, bringing back the leadership, confidence, poise, and consistent outside shooting the Cats missed so often last year. Arizona's first chance to prove its mettle came in an exhibition game against the Soviet Union. The Russians had beaten the Cats by 1 point the year before, but the Cats earned revenge this year with a convincing 78-68 victory before a sellout crowd at McHale Center. Arizona's frontline starters scored 57 points and limited their Russian counterparts to only 4. The Russian game marked the return of Steve Kerr. He had spent the previous 16 months rehabilitating a serious knee injury. His first...
Smart, aggressive, everybody on the glass, everybody running the court. Okay, get good shots, move hard to get to the openings. We're not going to get quick shots. We're going to have to get them off a good motion and back cuts and screens and go. Okay, here we go. Let's go.
The Soviets' first bucket comes easily against a breakdown in Arizona's defense. Lute Olson uses the situation as an opportunity to teach.
Somebody breaks loose like that, Steve's got to pick that guy up, that cutter too. We've got to scramble and switch that thing.
Every successful coach must know when and how to work on the officials. Lute Olson gets an early start this night.
Pushing off on the lob pass. Push off on the lob.
Soviet Union.
Oh, offensive. Oh, man, oh, man. That's an offensive foul. Offensive foul.
At halftime, the players get liquid and slices of orange right away. The team's ability to maintain that defensive intensity was compromised when Brian David went down in the first half with a season-ending knee injury. That means less rest and more pressure on starting center Tom Tolbert.
Come on, Tom! Tom, you got to start playing! Tom, you're not playing!
Cats lead by 6, Tolbert. Basket counts, he's fouled.
The big thing now is we've got to challenge those guys as far as three-point shots and make them put it down to come inside the three-point line and then make sure we've got protection and rebounding to the glass.
The Cats now lead by 3 buckets late in the game, forcing the Soviets to foul in an effort to get the ball back. Lute Olson is ready with a counter strategy.
Arizona's Steve Kerr will chat with Lute Olson. 1:55 left in the game. Cats lead by 7.
Got to have you be the guy that gets open to get the inbound so we get you at the line.
11 now, let's go!
Some things tonight, but basically they're...
With only 3 seconds left in the game, Lute Olson realizes he's forgotten to play freshman guard Matt Muehlbach.
Oh, Matt! I forgot all about you. Take it for Steve. Hurry.
He played his high school basketball
Last year, the Cats had a nasty habit of blowing second-half leads. Although this game was just an exhibition, the win was important because the Cats held off the Soviets' second-half rally to win convincingly. Ludol's Michigan didn't look powerful for long against the Wildcats. The Wolverines did draw first blood on a three-pointer by All-American guard Gary Grant. But Arizona's shifting zone defenses frustrated Grant for much of the rest of the ball game.
John Elliott.
Grant wasn't the only victim. Judd Bushler picked Glenn Rice clean. And Steve Kerr converted at the other end for a 7-point Arizona lead.
3 for Steve Kerr.
Kenny Lofton bothered Michigan's backcourt and contributed toward a 9-point lead at halftime. In the second half, it was Lofton again as his steal and lay-in gave Arizona a 17-point lead. Craig McMillan found Tom Tolbert down low, and the Cats had a shocking 20-point bulge. Anthony Cook added the exclamation mark to a surprisingly easy 15-point win.
And if we wanted to make sure that Syracuse was ready for us, Sean certainly got him ready.
Man-to-man defense, but we'll see them play a lot of matchup zone.
Cycling gets the stuff. The foul is on Tom Tolbert.
He is really pumped up. They got to shoot the ball.
Cycling wasn't the only Syracuse player with fire in his eyes. Derek Coleman was a factor on the offensive boards and rang up 5 points in the early going. But in spite of all the noise from Cycling and Coleman, Arizona led the entire first half and served notice that their confidence was well-founded. The big story of the first half, and probably the whole game, was the surprise performance of reserve center Joe Turner. When Tom Tolbert picked up 3 quick fouls, Turner got the call.
Good.
Joe Turner seemed bulletproof. He scored 10 points inside the paint, ripped off 5 quick rebounds, and clearly outplayed a surprised Ronnie Cycling.
I enjoyed myself out there.
Steve Kerr really hadn't found the groove yet, so Craig McMillan picked up the slack with 12 first-half points, including 3 three-pointers. The Cats out-rebounded the more physical Syracuse front line 19-9 and held a 6-point lead at halftime. Craig McMillan's three-pointer 6 minutes into the second half gave Arizona a 12-point lead, but then Syracuse mounted an impressive comeback. The Orange men outscored Arizona 15-2 and took a 1-point lead on another rebound basket by Derek Coleman. Then, as he would do so many times later in the year, Kenny Lofton exploded.
Sherman Douglas wanted a piece of him. You better believe that. If they score here, Jimmy Boeheim needs a timeout.
Lofton for 3. Yes.
Get a timeout, Jimmy. Get a TO, baby. Get a TO.
Lofton's 2 big plays seemed to deflate Syracuse, and Arizona smelled the kill. And win it they did in dramatic fashion.
To finish it. There it is. And gorilla dunk by Tom Tolbert. Bingo, bango, bongo.
The University of Arizona clearly dominated the Great Alaska Shootout. En route to their 3 impressive victories, the Cats set 8 tournament records. Steve Kerr, Tom Tolbert, and Sean Elliott were named to the all-tournament team, with Elliott also being honored as the tournament's most valuable player. Their next